Hello, good morning students. How are you today? I hope that you'll be very well. Today we're going to talk about the lesson 4, electricity. This is the science activity number 1 and we are in the lesson 4, chapter 12. Today is Thursday, May 7, 2020. Okay, let's start first copying this vocabulary. Copy the list in your notebook. The first word is electricity. Number 2, static electricity. Number 3, grounding. Number 4, electric current. And number 5, circuit. And 6, resistor. Okay, so copy the date, the title for this lesson, and the vocabulary list in your notebook. Let's continue with the next. Okay, let's start talking about electricity. Specifically about what is static electricity. Have you ever listened to the word static? I think that you have made some experiments in science classes. So, have you ever shocked yourself by touching a doorknob on a cold right day? A spark, una chispa, a spark jumps to your finger. And lighting during a thunderstorm is a large version of this spark. For example, un rayo durante una tormenta es una versión extendida de esa chispa. Both are examples of electricity. Electricity, remember, and that is very important for the exam, is the movement of electrons. Do you remember what is an electron? We checked that lesson in our previous classes. Tell me, what are the parts of the elements? Or not the elements. What are the parts of the atoms? Do you remember? Do you remember that we have in the atom moving around helices? We have the electrons. The electrons has a negative charge. Then in the nucleus you have, did you remember, Tommy? Protons and neutrons, okay? So here we're talking about electrons. What is the electric charge of the electrons? Do you remember? It's negative charge, okay? So here, electricity is the movement of electrons. Its energy is measured in joules, okay? We use units called volts in the batteries, for example, to measure how strong electrons will move, like this, okay? Check this picture that you have. A buildup, that means como una carga, a buildup of electrons on a shoe will discharge, se descargará back to the carpet, taken from una carga de electrones, una carga, un montículo de electrones se descargará en la alfombra. So here we have an example of static electricity. Check that and copy in your notebook. So static electricity is the buildup of charged particles. Copy the question. The important fact. This is another important fact as well. And drawings too. Okay? Pause the video if you need that. And let's continue with the next. Okay, next question. How can electricity flow? When you are in the dark, a flashlight like this is useful. A flow of electricity lights the bulb. Electric current is the flow of electricity through a conductor. Okay, check here. Here we have a circuit. Do you know what is a circuit? A circuit is formed when an electric current passes through an unbroken pair of conductors. Often the pair of a circuit consists of wires. Está formado un circuito por cables. So here, check the drawing that we have in the flashlight. We have some parts of a circuit. For example, in a circuit, you can find a voltage source. A voltage source increases the pulse of the electrons in the circuit. Un voltaje incrementa los niveles de electrones en el circuito. Batteries are a voltage source. Okay, so here I wanted you to put arrows to point here in the draw what are the parts that I need. So here, the voltage source we type that are formed with batteries, okay? The voltage source that we have here are the batteries, okay? Now, a circuit is formed as well by a switch. Here, what is a switch? Where can you find a switch in this picture? Yes, a switch is a device that can open or close the path. Puede abrir o cerrar el circuito. When the switch is closed, the voltage pushes on the electrons in the circuit. This causes electrons to move. Lo que va a permitir a los electrones que se muevan. So, where you can find the switch here? Yes, this is the switch. Okay, so in your notebook, I wanted to put an arrow to point each part. And finally, we can find here a resistor. An object in an electrical circuit that resists the flow of electrons is called a resistor. The resistance is measured in some units that we call ohms. In this case, the electricity does not flow the same way through every part of the circuit. A flashlight, like this, is a circuit. Battery supplies the voltage and the bulb attracts the resistors. So here we have that the resistor is attacked by the bulb. Okay, so put an arrow here. Now let's continue with the next. What kinds of circuits are there? Okay, look at the circuits photo. These illustrations are called circuit diagrams, okay? We have two kinds of circuit diagrams. The first one that we have here is the series circuit. A series circuit is called because it only has one path through which electricity can flow. In this case, you have the batteries here, the wire with the resistance. You can look some bulbs here, and it only has one way path through which the electricity can flow. Solo hay una manera en la que la electricidad pueda fluir. Then you have another kind of circuit diagram. You have the parallel circuit. Okay, a parallel circuit has more than one path through which the electricity can flow. You have more one path, de más de una manera o más de un patrón en el que la electricidad puede fluir. So look at the picture here. You have the batteries with some of the resistance here and the wires. So you have more than one path through the electricity can flow. So copy the question with the two circuit diagrams that we talk about in this lesson. Pause the video if you need, or check in your presentation. Let's continue with the next. The next question is, how can you use electricity safely? Okay, here I wanted to give me some tips about how can you use the electricity safely. For example, use breakers. Those are the breakers to protect circuits from too much current. Here you can notice a fuse is a wire that breaks if too much current flows through it. Or a breaker is a switch that opens when it detects too much current. Como una caja de fusibles, as you call that in Spanish, I think. So here I wanted to write 4 more tips, okay? Add 4 tips to answer that question in your notebook. Okay, I put one example for you. I want that you add 4 more. Okay, now let's put a review with a sequence. What happens as objects group together and form sparks? Check that. What is going to happen first? So first, an object rubs against another object or surface. Then, what happens next? Electrons are exchanged, son intercambiados. And then, the buildup of electrical charge attracts the electrons to protons in the other object, because remember that the positive attract the negative charge. So here you have in the draw the electrons. The electrons are represented with the minus sign, and the protons are represented with the addition sign. And what happened at the end? So at the end, the electrons discharge through the air, creating a spark, una chispa. Okay, now we're going to continue. Copy the glossary for this lesson. Check here in the audio in order that you can read or
electricity.
Repeat.
The movement of electrons.
Check the next one.
Static electricity. The buildup of charged particles.
The next.
Grounding. Connecting an object to earth with a conducting wire to prevent the buildup of static electricity. Electric current. A flow of electricity through a conductor. Circuit. A loop formed when electric current passes through an unbroken path of conductors. Resistor. An object in an electrical circuit that resists the flow of electrons.
Okay, so at the end of this lesson, I wanted we answer all together the review. First question. Is a flow of electric through a conductor? What is? Okay, checking the options and tell me what is the best for you. The correct answer is electric current. Question number 2. An object in an electrical circuit that resists the flow of electrons is called a that resist. How do you call it? Resistor. That's correct. And the last one, you know, for a 3 point easily, occurs when a conductor shares its excess charge with a much larger conductor. That is, you check in the glossary. Rounding. Okay, so then number 4, is formed when an electric current passes through an unbroken path of conductors. What is? Yes, correct, is circuit. Okay, so let's put number 5. It's the movement of electrons. Easily, what is? Electricity. And the last one is the buildup of charged particles. Correct, is the static electricity. Okay, so guys, we finished the lesson. So copy all the essential ideas with the draws, the glossary, and at the end the review for this activity number 1. Then wait and set your time to complete with activity number 2 that you are going to edit, and at the end you have the homework. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.